Welcome back. If this is your first time here, then welcome. My name is Sylv, artist behind cxnart, and today we're going to be drawing together. So here's the vision for today. I'm taking my Valentine's inspired piece and I'm going to be just reformatting the chocolate box and making a sticker design out of it. And I thought it would be cool if I just compiled some tips that I've learned while using Procreate, the app for my digital art, because a lot of individuals have asked me where I learned how to do digital art, and to be quite honest, I just used Reddit posts and YouTube. So yeah, hopefully this helps. The drawing grid or drawing guide is honestly my favorite feature inside Procreate. You can just turn it on in the settings and you can adjust the grid size and color to your liking. I always adjust mine to inches or half an inch so I can gauge how big my design is in real life. It's like really cool because sometimes I'm drawing and then I'm like, wait, how big is this? And what does the quality look like at a certain size? So since most of my designs are stickers, I like to do it at an inch so I can gauge how it looks. For all my pieces, I dedicate a layer just for colors. I create this like mini palette where I swatch the colors I know I want to use or that I'm interested in using, and I usually put that layer at the bottom so that I don't really mess with it. After I'm done drawing and sketching, I can go back to that layer and then just fill in the colors that I already left for myself. I came up with this method because back then I used to draw and color all on one layer together. I don't know what I was doing, but once I figured out how to do layers, this is a really important tip because you kind of create your own coloring book, so it's really satisfying and it helps with making decisions with colors. Speaking of layers, my actual bottom layer is typically my sketch or my design that I'm working off of. I just turn down the opacity on that by pressing the N button and dragging it down so that I can still see my drawing as a guide and it's not overwhelming. You can turn it on or off at any time, or you can turn up or down the opacity, and it really helps with making sure that you're still following your drawing, or you can just abandon your sketch if you realize that it's not serving you anymore. A question a lot of digital artists get is, what brushes are you using for your piece? The specific brush that I'm using for this piece is the narinder brush. It's a default Procreate brush that's under the sketching section. I actually use a lot of brushes that are under the sketching section because they are beautiful the way that they come. There's a lot of tutorials online if you want to make specific brushes, and there are also brushes that you can buy or download for free online. I think if you're just starting out, you don't have to go too ham on buying or creating custom brushes. The default brushes that are provided by Procreate are actually pretty good. One thing to be aware of before you start your digital art piece is to know what type of color profile you're making it in. So it's either going to be in RGB or CMYK. I typically just like to make all of my art in CMYK because if I plan on printing it in the future, a lot of printers use CMYK. However, if you'd like it to be more vibrant on your screen, then I would opt for RGB. You can select the type of color profile before you make a canvas, or if you're not sure, you can just go into your canvas information and see which one you're using. I think a lot of people already know this, but I didn't, so I want to share just in case someone else doesn't. You can move layers across different pieces. I was just copying every single individual layer or flattening it and moving it, but you can actually select multiple layers and then move it into a different canvas. I've been chatting quite a bit, so I'm going to take a little break. Hopefully you can enjoy the drawing process, and I'll join you again at the end with a couple more tips. My dog came to visit me while I was drawing, and obviously I had to stop everything I was doing just to give her some belly rubs, and then I could continue. Another thing I like on Procreate is alpha lock. I am low-key reaching my capacity for English right now, so I'm going to read the Google definition that is provided. Alpha lock allows you to draw within a shape's boundaries by locking a layer's transparency. Once you lock a layer, you can only draw inside what already exists. So I used this for all of the cheeks inside of this piece, and it was really helpful because it didn't go over the faces, if that makes any sense. One of the most helpful functions that I literally just recently learned is the snapping function, and I'm not talking about like this type of snapping. I'm talking about when you turn on this feature, it shows you blue guidelines and sometimes yellow. It just kind of aligns your object so it's like even, depending on where you decide to place it. I have a lot of difficulty in deciding where I want to place my object, so making sure that it's placed relative to the other objects on my drawing is super helpful. My last tip is how I make the sticker border outline for when I want to print out stickers. I'm going to link that tutorial in my description box because I actually struggled pretty hard to make this, and I think that the video does more justice in explaining how to do it. From my understanding, there's a lot of other ways to actually make the sticker border outline, so if you're not making it the same way as me, that's completely okay. I just used this tutorial because it's the first one I ever found, and it's been working for me ever since. And with that, we're finished for today. Thank you for sharing your time with me. Hopefully by the time this video is posted, the stickers are on the way, and I'll have them available on my shop. As always, take care, and I'll see you next time.